It was a revolutionary miniseries that first aired in 1993 and was based on an important set of novels. Now, years later, Armistead Maupin's Tales of the City is getting revived once again. Take a look.
A beautiful girl, but for today,
Did anyone ever tell you how I came to live at Barbary Lane in the first place?
for today.
I read an ad. You know what it said? You'll know if it's right for you.
The new miniseries features some familiar faces along with new stars like Ellen Page. For more, we are joined by showrunner Lauren Morelli along with stars Marie Bartlett and Paul Gross. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
So, Lauren, we'll start off with you. The first time that we saw this on screen was in 1993.
Yes.
Why was now the time to revisit the story?
I think, it's so rare that we're given these stories about a chosen family, and there are a lot of LGBTQ characters on the show, and it just felt like it was time to update it and revisit Barbary Lane.
Paul, you are reviving the character that we first saw you in 1993. We now see you as dad to Ellen Page's character. So what is this like? How have things changed for kind of the original crew that was there in 93? How has life changed? How is it similar as we're seeing them now in 2019?
Mostly, I think the character has just grown up a little bit. But I had to kind of revisit it. I couldn't really remember it all that well, so I had to go back and watch everything. Oh, man, my character was sort of a.
I'm 25.
He's grown up. He's better, I think. And it's facing modern challenges and the challenge of fatherhood. And particularly if you have to try and be the father to Ellen Page, who's impossible. So.
She is a firecracker. We've
It's
had
a
her
struggle.
on the same sofa. And
She's just a little stick of TNT.
She is. Oh, yeah, yeah. What was that like watching what you did in 93? Like having to sit there and watch the film. What is that like?
Kind of horrifying. To be honest, just slightly horrifying. No, it was, once you kind of get over the self-consciousness you have about watching yourself, what actually we've been kind of talking about, it was just really fun to look at it, because I'd forgotten so much about it and what an amazing and unique kind of show it was. And then to be involved in this new one where there's other people are coming in and the whole spirit of it just was not exactly reborn, but rebloomed. And it was a really wonderful experience.
Well, and it's a new time.
Yeah.
2019 is a very different time than 1993 was. Lauren, how does that play into telling the story when we're taking it into the climate today?
It felt really important. Barbary Lane has always been really warm and safe, and I think especially right now, we need safe spaces and we need an escape, and so it felt like an especially appropriate time to remind viewers of empathy and kindness and to be able to watch characters who are, making mistakes but ultimately doing their best.
Marie, the show features the storylines of many members of the LGBTQ community, but also some of the actors on set as well belong to that community. They identify as queer as well. So why is that important for how to tell this story?
I mean, I think it was a real commitment by the people putting together the show again this time to make sure it was an incredibly diverse group of people. We're sort of riding this wave of leveling everybody up. A lot of people in all sorts of minorities haven't had opportunities that they should have, and particularly in a show that's really centred on the LGBTQ community, to involve a diverse group of people within that community was a really important thing to do.
The stories that are being told are being written by people who understand these stories. Lauren, I understand that the writer's room is full of people who are from the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
How does that change how stories are being told?
I think it only helps make stories richer and more authentic when you can pull from your everyday experience. It's still fiction and you still want to be able to invent, but to fall back on, I can write this character because they remind me of someone that I personally know, only makes those stories come to life a little bit better.
This show is one that will be available on Netflix, and it's a new forum for consuming television when we see shows being made available kind of in big chunks, big viewing chunks. So what is this like for viewers, do you think, Paul, who are tuning into the show, to the miniseries? What can they expect to take away getting to see the story as it unfolds?
Well, to start with, it's a wonderful show. It's beautifully written. The cast is amazing. I think they're going to have a great time. It is unexpected. There are twists and turns in it. They're extraordinary. But I think most importantly, you're just going to feel great. It is a show that makes you feel good in a time where there's an awful lot of stuff that makes us feel lousy. This is the antidote.
There were so many elements from the first episode that just I was delighted by, and Laura Linney's earnestness, and I just, so many things, so many things. So you'll want to watch it. You guys, first of all, thank you so much for coming in.
Of
Thanks
course.
for having us.
And congratulations on the show.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so the first episode of Tales of the City will screen tonight at the Inside Out Film Festival in Toronto, and you can watch the entire series June 7th on Netflix.